Hello everyone. Today we're going to be going through my process of making bassoon reeds. So yeah, let's just start. If you don't know, I don't know why you wouldn't know, but this is a dry piece of cane. You want to soak it beforehand for a few hours, roughly no more than 24 hours. I'd say up to 12 hours to 24 hours, and somewhere between that mark, and definitely not more than a day. So you want to put that in your water bowl thing. So now this is a wet piece of cane, and now we're gonna start performing surgery on to make it a new thing. I'm gonna experiment on some stuff. Alright, so you can see this, but I pre-drew some lines here. That's where you're going to be doing some. Those are the major focus points that we're going to do. So you're going to cut like this. This is about 2 millimeters. You're going to cut this down so that if the reed is too long, then it will. Then some kind of science stuff happens, and you'll not. Maybe I don't know, but so we cut that off. That's it's not important anymore. So what we're gonna do now is you're gonna fold it. So if you most people some people recommend using a ruler. Line up the very center of the reed with the edge of the ruler. Fold over it. That you can do that. I just kind of eyeball it because if you bend it a little bit, you can see where the bending point is pretty easily. So that's that. And you just fold it together. Now, since you cut off 2 millimeters on one side, you cut off 2 millimeters on the other side. So, like that. Yeah, looks good. Alright. So now, what you do. What you do is a little process called beveling. So, this other mark here is 5 millimeters. That's where almost basically what you're taking off this little part, some of this here, so that it can form a better circle when you form. So you're going to do that. You're going to take an X-Acto knife or any kind of knife that you have that works good for small little woodwing type things. You're going to do it on both sides on the right hand side. So now you can't. It's hard to see, but yeah. You kind of see it better that way. Alright, so you've done that. Now what? Here's what. You fold it again. You're gonna. There's. You are going to take some wire, brass wire, cut off a piece about roughly 3.5 inches. You can measure it out. I kind of eyeball it and say, hey, that's good enough. And now you're gonna wrap it around the top, the collar portion of the cane. So what you can do is put like roughly here, Should be about a millimeter off from the actual collar. You fold it. You're gonna wrap it all the way around until it comes back to you. At this point, the right side, this side, from facing you, your right side should be on top. So it gets a nice even fold. So then you're gonna twist, take your pliers, grab it, twist until it's kind of snug on there. It doesn't have to be too tight, but it needs to be tight enough that it actually makes a difference. Then you cut that off like that. Yes. So now, take a rubber band, cut in half at any point, because a circle is a circle. Right where the beveling ends, this one you're gonna start wrapping the reed with the rubber band. So, you want it to be pretty tight. Wrap all the way up, basically from 5 millimeters up. When you get to the wire, alright, you are going to stretch it out, wrap it around your finger, around the rest of the reed, tuck it under, pull. So you got a little rubber band wrap thing going. So that's cool. Then you're gonna put it in the water for a little bit to make sure it kind of gets wet again, because it tends to dry out pretty frequently. So now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to cut 2 more pieces of wire. Roughly about the same length. Put off the side right here. So we're going to grab, in my case, a different reed, because I already started this in preparing for this video. So what you do now, you take your forming mandrel. There's different types of mandrels. So you got this one, longer one. It's for forming it down. This wrap signifies how far I go onto the, like how far, like the farthest down I go. That's what this represents. And then you got the actual normal mandrel that you use every other time. This was for fun. So yeah, all right. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna put some beeswax on your forming mandrel. Not necessarily too much. It's enough to get the job done. And you're gonna take this. Pay attention. This is very important. Put it in. Like this. You're gonna push down. Now, it gets tighter as it goes down. So what you gotta do, you gotta crush it. You gotta crush the bottom that's not covered by the rubber band. Once you do that a little bit, here, just kind of get a form. You can go down more now. So, usually don't twist, but I'm trying to prove a point here. So, keep going down, down, down. For me, it's until I reach my little wrap thing. And there you go. So when you get down, you want to crush a little bit more so that it forms a complete like the butt of the reed forms a complete circle. Alright, so now you might be asking what the reason for the rubber band is. Well, that is to have constant pressure on the reed while it's forming, so it gets acclimated to a new shape. Than just because, if you notice, this is very non-circular at all, even when you fold it. But then this ends up being very circular to fit on the bowl. So, now, before you take the rubber band off, you're going to take one of your extra wires, put it at the bottom of where the rubber band stops, and so you're going to do the same thing you did with the first wire. You're going to tighten. And cut. And now you can take it off. Nope, that didn't work. Alright. So, here you go. Here's what I'm doing. There you go. Just gonna let it unravel. And there you go. You got 2 wires on there, my friend. So, now, what's next? That's pretty simple, actually. So, put the second wire on. But you see how these two are facing the same direction, roughly. There, now there. But the second wire is going to face the other direction. So, instead of putting it like this, with the little pokey things facing you, it's going to face away from you. So, and then you're going to do the same thing you did with the other two, as opposed to wrapping it around the reed. It's the exact same thing. So now, rough measurements should be, the first wire should be about 1 millimeter from the collar. The second wire should be about 9 millimeters from the middle of the first wire, or 10 millimeters from the collar. Yeah, a little bit more here, but whatever. This is for demonstration purposes. I don't know if I'm going to use. I'll fix this later. And then finally, the third wire must be 5 millimeters from the butt of the reed. So we're going to measure that real quick. It's fine. Okay. Oh, wow. I have done it correctly. That's a new thing for me. So now, you're probably like, what do we do now? What we're going to do now, what I do is I fold all these down. So, that, like that. So now, look, I thought the camera was down here. It's not, it's up here. Looks like that. And then you put it on your little drying rack for a roughly day or two to have it dry and get used to its new form. So the next part is debatable on what you want to do. Some say that you should wrap next. Others say you should clip it and start scraping all the stuff out next, because otherwise, if it's not, make it a working reed first before you wrap it, because otherwise you're just wasting wrap. So that's what we're going to do right now. So after it's been soaking for about a day or two, you're going to, put it in water for a little bit. Take clippers or your chopping block or scissors if you want. Take off the tiniest bit off the tip and make sure it's even, because otherwise it's going to screw you up later. Alright, so now that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to take our normal mandrel and a reed, put the reed on the mandrel, bada bing bada boom. Take your plaque, stick it in top, take your knife. Yeah, mine's rusty. Don't judge me. Alright, so now take a ruler. Again, everything's in millimeters. So you're going to measure from the center of the first wire. You want to mark off 29 millimeters. That's going to start what we call the wedge. Yeah. So now, you take your knife, take your thing, put the thing on the thing. You're gonna start the shell. You start scraping bit by bit from that little line you drew. That's how far back you're gonna go, and just you're gonna scrape from that point forward, just until it gets like really thin. I see, I was kind of dumb in pre-planning for this video that I did not have one already set up for the ledge, so I can just skip this. But here we are anyway, so I'm going to cut and I'm going to come back right when I'm back. Alright, so we finished the ledge. Can't really see it. Kind of a little bit. I have a light off camera. I'm trying to see if I can do it. Nope, that doesn't work. Alright, okay. But hopefully you can see, at this angle you can kind of see it, that there's obviously way less cane in the very tip. That's a good thing. That's what you want right now. So, what happens next? It's kind of fun. So you play with knives. And who kid doesn't like to play with knives? Maybe you're not a kid. You're like, whatever. So, then let me know that. Anyway, so what you're going to do now is you try cut 45. That's not that. Try cut 45-degree angle. You're not cutting. You're scraping off like this. 45-degree angle, and then you're going to switch to roughly going straight up from like halfway down the blade or the reed. You're going to do both sides of this side and both sides of the other side, so it's all even, and you want to do it roughly the same amount of times. Also, one thing you want to know, you want to periodically wet the reed. If it dries out, it starts to chip. It's annoying. I'd say more annoying than actually having reread the entire time. This is also taking a while, so I am going to cut again. Wire bitray. I'm going to cut. I'll be right back.
Yeah, okay, I'm back. Quick thing. The original recording for this video got corrupted for this segment. So, that's why everything looks different. I look different. My clothes are different. But I'm just going to go over pretty much the same stuff. I'm going to skip some stuff because I didn't really realize it. I didn't prepare that much. So, yeah. That's what's going to happen. And sorry if there's glare. I'm right next to my window and I can't really do anything about it. Yeah, it's not working. Alright. So let's just get into it. So when you finish scraping everything, you want kind of like when you're shaving out the corners stuff, it should be pretty much even on both sides of the heart, or the spine, as well as on the other side, the exact same way. So that, and then you want to measure, take a ruler, measure, I think it's 30 millimeters. Yeah, so 30 millimeters, clip it down, finish off a little bit, anything you need to do if you see it's uneven, whatever, and then you're pretty much good. So that's that. So now we're going to wrap with the thread we have. This is not clips because I just quickly put something together to re-record this section. So take your little thread, you kind of see it. What I have it on one of my pegs. I have the spool on my peg here, so you just kind of pull it out and just, you don't have to worry about it tangling or anything and all that. So yeah. So now what I do, I have this little where the wire twists. I fold it down so that when you go up and wrap around the top wire, it hooks in. You don't have to worry about it sticking out when you're finishing, so you don't get stabbed. Because I've done it. It hurts a lot. So what you can also do is you have it sticking out. So I'm actually going to do it right now. You have it sticking out. The same thing, go up, wrap around. Wrap around, and then fold it down. So you can get it better and secure. So then what you do is you wrap around, go about basically to the other side in the center. Fold it, put the thread on angle down so that it's now under the wire. And then when you hit back to the notch, that's what I'm going to call it because I don't have a better term for it. You'll go back up on top just past the where the notch is. Then when you go back around on the second time, so be on top, just go just past the first thread. You can't see it because of the lighting and the camera, but go just past it and go back down and do the same thing. On the way back, you go just past it, go back up on top. So literally, you're doing the same thing over and over again, making very little progress. So you may say, what's the point? But it's kind of important. There's multiple things. One, aesthetically, it looks pleasing. Second of all, it kind of acts as like a counterweight. So if you drop it, you're not dropping it tip first. That's not the main thing. The main thing of it is mostly aesthetic. But there is the little bit of, if you do it enough, it will, when it falls, the butt end of the reed, it will flip to the bottom and land on the bottom, so so the tip doesn't get any damage when it falls. Because that's when damage is caused. It's the impact, not the fall itself. It would probably do it anyway, but whatever. It looks cool, especially the thread I'm using because it's like black, red, and gray. So it looks very interesting. The type I got it from Etsy.com is where I got this specific thread. And what I like about it is since it's multicolored, it like every time you wrap a reed, you get something different out of it. Unless you somehow manage to make it the exact same every single time, which I doubt, because if it were likely, I would know, because I would have figured it out how to do it. But it could come out different every time, so you never really know what you're gonna get. So you want to make it about that much, probably. And this is actually one of the better wraps I've done. But yeah, so after you're gonna come up to the top, and then you're not gonna do the over under wrap anymore. You're just gonna kind of turn the mandrel where your reed is. So therefore, you're turning the reed as well, because physics, you know how that works. Scientifically, maybe. So then, when you reach the second wire, that's when you're gonna stop. So now you're gonna take your scissors. You're not gonna cut right there. You're not gonna cut right there because that just it's no point. You undid all the work you just did because it will not stay. So what you do is you cut a little bit forward. You can't see it, but I'll show you after. So you cut it. You can kind of see it. It's about this much. So now take your pliers, fold down the first wire. So now you'll have a thread loop. So now you're gonna essentially thread the needle, but the needle was made of more thread. So do that, pull it through. Have it like that. You can't see it. But once you pull it through, you're gonna wrap this end. I forgot to mention before, you want to leave some hanging down, so you can just kind of. So you can do this. What you're gonna do is wrap around your finger. If this will work. And you're gonna pull it down. And then boom. If you do it right, which I rarely do, but I did this time, you get no evidence that there's any rope, that there's any thread anywhere in here. So, and then you're gonna cut from the bottom as far as you can. So this is what you get. Then you fix your wire. Fix the first wire. If it's messed up at all, mine's messed up, but that's something I worry about because I'm one of those people. So now you're gonna take this Duco cement. It's clear cement like stuff. Well, it's called cement, so yeah, obviously. Um, it's not like concrete cement. It's essentially glue, but not really. So now you're gonna put it on the wrap itself, and then just gonna kind of go around. I like to do a thin layer, just a thin layer, so it doesn't really do anything. Yeah, so. Alright, so now we're done. Now we're done that. You're gonna wait a little bit. Take this spool of thread off. So, bam. You're gonna let it sit for a bit. Then you're gonna put. Then you're gonna when it dries, which I usually wait maybe 10, 15 minutes before it's dry enough because waiting so long to just to do one more thing after this is kind of pointless. So you're gonna wait. I'm not gonna show you this part. But when you're done, put it back on your mandrel and just fold the second wire down over the thread. So that's basically all you're gonna. That's basically it. I hope you enjoyed this very disjunct video. Have a good day. Stay safe with this thing going on. And then, yeah, keep on hunting. I'll see ya.